Hello everybody. I wanted to give a bit of an update on some of the changes that have been made to Asgardex over the last few releases. This is a dev build, which what will become 1.2, 1.8. So just giving a bit of an overview here. We've obviously integrated Maya and THORChain, and just to swap between the DEX, you can just click this and it changes it here. We have obviously the available pools is different between the two, and you can have a look at them here and get the information as well as the pending. Obviously Maya doesn't have savers yet, so that's just going to be what's to come. So THORChain will then have the savers. You can have a look at that there. The wallet, we've added a create, so you can create a new wallet. You can import your key store or seed phrase, or you can just unlock your remembered wallet. From here, there's been a bit of work done on the wallet interface. So I guess going from the top, we have a filter by $1. We can do expand and contract, which is pretty cool. We have here a bit of a pie graph of your asset balance, so you can have a look at where your distribution for your assets are when you're tracking your balances. So that's pretty cool, that graph. Put some comments in the section below if you want to see more about that. We have the order of the assets has been changed, so to make it a bit more realistic or a bit more common. And that order, if I collapse this, will change depending on the DEX. So if we change that here, then we have Mayachain at the top, and the more of the Maya type of assets towards the top. And if we change that back to THORChain, it then changes it to more of a THORChain friendly type of more of a THORChain friendly type of order. So we have that. If we were to go to LP shares, we can have a look at our LP shares. This is pretty standard stuff. You can't, when you're in this page, because of all the endpoint and information that needs to change when you're changing DEX, you can't change whilst in the LP and the swap page. So if you wanted to say, oh, I want to have a look at my Maya stuff, you just go back, change the DEX, and then that'll start updating your LP shares. So it swaps it depending on whatever DEX you've got. The screens are the same. They have a bit of a quick select, and that will depend on the DEX that you selected. You can exclude since, obviously, and then select, switch between what you want to add as an example. So that's all works pretty well. There's some pretty detailed information in the detail section. This is pretty good. So obviously you need to approve the contract when you're working with more like EVM type chains before you can utilize it. But if I go to here, like I've already approved that, that's all good. So I'd be able to add more to this LP position. Not a problem. Let's go to LP shares. So that's that there. And again, THORChain's the same. If we go to savers is, as I said, only available for THORChain at the moment. So if you swap between modes, you're going to have no difference. Let's go have a look at swap for a bit. There's been a lot of work on swap. Swap's extremely complicated. So if we go to swap, we can get again, a quick select here. So if we swap to, I don't know, here, go max, streaming swaps is enabled every one block, and it's automatic, although you can decide if you want, but THORChain decides for you. We make it by default, so THORChain decides for you. All the information is given here, like how much slip, how much fees you're going to pay, and all of that. We've introduced shortened codes, which is really cool because that reduces your on-chain transaction expense because there's less on-chain data. So we've tried to make those little efficiencies there. Yeah, it's all working pretty good. Actually, I don't have much Ethereum in this wallet. So the swaps there, and that works for obviously for Maya as well as THORChain. So if we go on swap some Maya assets as an example, go swap here, go max. Streaming swaps isn't enabled for Maya yet. Just wait for this to load. So we do the standard limit order, or not limit order, lim. So you can, you can put your slip tolerance in here, and then that will give you a minimum amount that you want to have. So that gives you some protection instead of using streaming swaps, particularly if you're doing large amounts. And again, all the information is displayed down here. So that is the THORChain Maya swapping. There's been some work done on, we'll talk about the drop down. The action drop down's been removed. So we have the reload has been moved here. So that reloads the chain, which is a bit better than doing the refresh, because that refreshes everything and does a lot of behind the scenes API calls. So just doing the reload reloads the chain, which is much more efficient. The receive just gives you the receive address, which is pretty cool. And it doesn't depend on the asset. Like if you've got all these assets you want to receive USDC, you can just do receive and you're sending it to the same address. So it's chain specific, not asset specific. The buttons here, the action buttons depend on the asset, and that will depend as well as on the DEX selected. So obviously, like say THOR isn't listed in Maya, so you can't do any like swapping or adding. But if we change it, then it's going to be, the actions are dependent on the DEX as well as the asset. So you can do deposit for RUNE as well as for Cacao here. And the deposit's your standard message deposit. When going back to bonds, so bonds has had some work done to it where you can go ahead and view different nodes. So either THOR nodes, which is already there, and then Maya nodes. Within the THOR nodes, you can have a look at the bond providers, which is pretty cool, and have a look how that's tracking. And then if you have a connected wallet, either a key store or a ledger, so you had our THORChain ledger added, and that was a bond provider, the bond and unbond would be enabled, and you'll be able to go ahead and click the bond, and then that would take you to the bond page, which is like deposit bond, where this would be all populated with the node address. It'll tell you how much you've got bonded, and if you do the unbond, it would give you again the node address, how much you've got bonded, and then you could unbond up to that amount. THOR name has been added. If you didn't know, that's been in for a little bit, but you can create your own THOR name, look up a THOR name as well, and it'll give you information on that. Right, so that's about it. A lot of changes there to try and make things simpler. If you have any comments or stuff like that, put them in the comment section below. I think that's about it for the major changes. Again, we still have night mode. You can change how you want your assets to be. You can change between multiple wallets, and to add and remove ledgers is the same thing. You go to settings. You would then go to, if you want to add Ethereum wallet, load up the Ethereum, connect your ledger, load up the Ethereum app, press add ledger, and you have a choice on your index as well. So you can change indexes, which is really cool. I don't have my Ethereum ledger or ledger connected, so that's not going to work. Anyway, so that's a bit of an update on where Asgardex is at. New release should be coming out soon. If you have any new features you want added or feedback, put them in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to have a look at that. So the devs have been working very hard, and this is what I've been testing. So hope you enjoy the video, and thanks. Bye.